Hello, hello, welcome back to more Let's Play Diablo 3 Beta with our Witch Doctor. I am back in town, and we're looking for the Chancellor's Altar beneath one of the fortresses down there. But we have access to our Artisan now. Technically I had access to it in the very beginning of the game, but I didn't want to do that. My Blacksmith is higher level because of my other characters, but I wanted to show him off in this episode. If you go under here to salvage, basically any of your blue items or above that you don't want that you aren't going to put on the auction house, you want to destroy them because they're not worth piddly squat for money. So if you hit salvage and you go to an item you don't want, like this one, you left click on it and you get crafting material. There are, I think, 3 levels of crafting materials. You have essences, like the subtle blue ones. They might be higher quality ones, I don't know. And then we'll do it to that one. And there are also yellow essences and I believe also legendary ones as well. So we have 3 subtle essences. We can now forge armor or forge a weapon. I don't have any materials to craft any weapons, but I might have some for armor. Well, I do have enough for that, but that requires level 8. I know I have enough because it has that 1 next to it. So I don't have enough to craft anything yet. And all these white items, they're going bye-bye. Just going to drop them. They sell for, look at that, 5 gold. I'm not even going to waste my time going there. So let's summon our zombie dogs. And let's head back to the cemetery of the Forsaken. And let's take this guy out. I'm not sure if he's a new enemy, but he's a Tomb Guardian. If he is, what he does is he shoots some AoE at you. And what he also does is summon more skeletons, which is pretty nasty. Get that healing. Okay, so here we have one of the crypts we can go through. I think there's 2 different ones. One of them's the right one of them's the wrong one. Break some stuff here, yeah. Little experience bonus, sure, why not? So we got some, well, these aren't really new enemies, we fought them before. Ooh, that's a lot though. Alright, these guys are back. Now their explosion also affects their allies though. So if you're paying attention, you can use that to your advantage. Oh, here we got a unique pack. Let's spam them with some of that knockback, huh? Knockback's pretty annoying. Let's get that healing. Bring our zombie dogs back because they're about dead. So I was kind of asked to talk about my thoughts on Diablo 2 or Diablo 3 compared to Diablo 2, especially if you've watched my other Let's Play for Diablo 2. And basically, it's kind of hard to see what I think are the benefits of this. Ooh, we got a golden chest. Yeah, it's kind of like the golden chest from Diablo 2. Drops a lot of items. It's kind of hard to see the benefits. Damage taken reduced by 25%, nice. Of what I think the dynamics of how the skill system is going to work. Like, look at my skill sets that I have right now. I have a single target going on, the blow darts. You know, decent damage. I have a decent AoE, but it's close range. And then I have these zombie dogs. I don't really have anything else yet. But when I was playing in a party, and I think that's really where the dynamics of the skill system come into play. At level 60, at the max level of the game, the point of it is to farm for items or, you know, things like that. And how Blizzard has set it up for farming is they want you to basically be out in the world killing champion packs, unique packs like that. Not just farming bosses like Pendleskin, which I guess technically was or Mephisto or Baal, things like that. They don't want you just doing that, because that's what happened in Diablo 2. People just did runs for those kinds of guys, and then that was it. Nobody was like actually killing normal monsters and things like that. So their plan is this buff called Nephilim's Valor, I believe. And what the buff does is when you kill a champion unique pack in Diablo 3 at max level, you have to be level 60, is it gives you this buff. It increases your magic find, your gold finds, and what it does is it allows bosses like the Skeleton King, which we'll get to in this LP, not in this episode, it allows them to drop the best drops in the game, like the Champion's Unique packs. We got another boss pack. Wow. Because bosses on their own won't be able to drop the best stuff. So the goal is for you to go out and kill these Champion Unique packs because the buff does stack. And then go and kill like a major boss like Diablo or the Skeleton King or something like that. But what they have designed is so far, and I hope they keep it, is if you have that buff, if you switch out your skills, you lose your buff. So look at me right now. Okay, yeah, I'm doing okay right now. But what if these zombie dogs, what if like during a boss fight, the zombie dogs just got destroyed and they were no good and I needed something else. Well, switch your skills, you say. Well, I don't want to lose my buff. Well, let's say maybe I need those zombie dogs going into, killing the packs. I think it adds a very interesting dynamic to the game. I think that's not really seen so much early on. Anyway, we got a new rune. Let's check that out. So for Grasp of the Dead, increases the damage done to 39% weapon damage. Let's try that. We'll go back to Grasp of the Dead. And I think it's kind of hard to see it in a single player like this. Oh, this is added now too. At the end of optional dungeons, you can warp back out. Really nice. So let's go to the next one. Example with my Barbarian. I was running a 4-player game. I was running with Cleave as my main attack for Fury generation, which is an AoE. And I was doing great then. I had all my skills as AoE because I think there's more enemies with more players in the game. There might not be, but certainly felt like it. So that's how I was running. But I got to the Skeleton King and I started getting I couldn't do crap for damage because I was spec'd for AoE. And that kind of lends it to the idea of, if you are running a group, 4-player group, at level 60, you're magic finding because that's kind of the whole goal of everything in the game. Do you go for a balanced approach? Do you go for a mix between AoE and, single target? Do you go for a single target focus? I mean, what's your plan? Especially with the bunch of different enemy types you can run into. Teleporters, knockbacks, fire enchanted. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what you can run into. So I'm just thinking, in my personal opinion, I'm looking at that, I'm like, I could see a really cool dynamic set up when you are running in a 4-player group, especially because I think enemies hit harder when you have more players in the game. It doesn't seem like a ton, but it felt like that was certainly there because when I soloed the Skeleton King, I didn't really have any problems with my Barbarian. But then I was like 1.5 levels higher running in a 4-player group, and his damage, I swear, he almost killed me at one point because his damage was much higher. So, it's hit that. Oh, we got some new traps. Yeah, we got wall traps too. So I mean, I can't confirm that enemies do more damage, but it certainly seemed like he was doing more damage at the time. So that's the way I see it. I'm like, I could see a setup being pretty interesting And especially at level 60 when the game gets hard when you go into the Inferno mode where you'll want to be farming for drops. I mean, like I said, this is just the beginning of the game. It doesn't really, I think, illustrate what I think the dynamics of the skill system will allow because every single skill in this game is useful, it looks like so far, and will have a use. Um, some will probably be better than others, you know, but it certainly seems like they've put efforts in making sure every skill is useful. Unlike in Diablo 2, where a lot of your beginning skills you never really use unless you were playing some off the wall character. Like the one of the sorceresses first spells Fireball or Firebolt. Nobody used Firebolt. I mean, if anything, you would use Fireball, which replaced it. What was that? 5 to 10, huh? +1 to 3. Let's put that on. Yeah. And we get a little glowing effect, which is kind of cool. Let's go up. Oh. So that's kind of my opinion on the skill system. And finding games is so much easier than Diablo 2. You just hit your quest that you're on and you hit join game. Oh, so much nicer. I'll show off some multiplayer games for this for Diablo 3. And I think it'll show it off a little bit better how the skill system kind of comes into play with everything. Not a whole lot because, like I said, you can only go to level 13. And that's basically like beating Act 1 in Diablo 2 and being like, well, this game's not very interesting. I mean, I think they've done a much better job in Diablo 2 showing off the interesting parts. Like, because technically I could use these skills the rest of the game and I would be okay. Since everything is weapon damage and they've designed every skill to kind of fill a role. Like I have poison darts, single target. The spiders, kind of single target, but a little bit of AoE. Grasp of the Dead, it's a snare with an AoE effect. All right, yeah, we're almost there. But before we get there, yeah, hear that? Ah, we have a boss Mangle Maw. Oh, this is gonna be easier having those little zombie dogs up there. Almost died with my barbarian when I fought this guy. Oh, that was a joke. Hey, we got a leather helmet, huh? Well, nothing really special, but increases the pickup range. Alright, we made it to the Chancellor's Tomb. Unfortunately, I didn't run into the Jar of Souls. You can run into random quests while you're playing this game as well. One of them is called the Jar of Souls, obviously. And it's a pretty cool little quest that you do. The little random quests you run into don't seem like they're very complicated. Like, the Jar of Souls, all it is you surviving for a minute while increasing amount of waves come after you. So it's pretty fun. That Tomb Guardian still alive? Yeah, he is. Two of them are alive up there. Alright, we got him. Chancellor's Altar. We made it. Yeah, he's not going to go down easy. Wow, this is easy having tanks, though. This guy wasn't actually very hard when I fought him. Ah, that was, yeah, easy as heck. Gathering boots. Some item. What do the boots do? Yeah. Okay, so let's take that item. And for completing that quest, we'll learn the Town Portal spell. Basically, they've got rid of the scrolls for it. And it's only for, it works for you. You cast the Town Portal, and you can only go back to town. So as a cast timer, so you can't use it in the middle of battle anymore. And it's not really used as a system for bringing your party members to you because they added a new banner system for that. which I'll show when I play multiplayer. We'll repair it, man. One thing I didn't show off with the Artisan, let me go here. They start at a level, and there are two Artisans in the game, but you can only get one in the beta. Basically, you just spend money on them, and they will increase how much what they learn and their levels for it as well. So basically, they're a money sink because money's there is actually going to be important in this game. So let's salvage all that crap that we got because we're not going to use any of it. Oh, I think those gloves are actually decent that I salvaged. Nuts. Well, whatever. You can go. Alright. So let's see. Forge some weapons. Level 17, huh? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to use that. Spade, that's for a monk. All this stuff is pretty high leveled because I have there at level 3, so he's kind of high. 19. 21. 1. Only wizard. Okay. So let's go look at some of the armor. Can't use. Okay, let's craft this. So to craft an item, you just click on it. So this will give me 2 random magical properties when I craft it. For a little bit of money, plus your essences, you get a random item. Now dexterity and movement speed, that's not really good for me. If you look here, dexterity, all that does is increase my dodge chance. Doesn't really matter for me. I'm worried about intellect because that increases my damage and also my resistances as well. That's my main worry. So I don't like those. Let's craft another set. Melee attacks take 1 damage per hit and increases gold and health pickup. I don't like that either. I like the regeneration over that. I'm going to salvage these two. You do have a chance when you are salvaging blue items to get higher than just blue quality. Alright, can I do anything else? Level 8. Let's do this. 2 random magical properties and a lot higher armor. 2 to strength, 8 extra. That's terrible. Well, yeah, you're going to sink a lot of money and stuff into crafting. People are going to make a lot of money selling stuff through there. Oh, yeah, I don't even have any risks. Oh, well. Alright, so next time we were going to talk to Kane and figure out how we need to kill the Skeleton King. Thanks for viewing this episode, and I hope you guys will stick around, and I'll catch you next time.